everyone, I'm Gautam, Senior Architect with Publicis Sapient. For last year and a half, I have been working in helping our 1600 plus front-end developer community to adopt GenAI, and we have been working on a lot of tools on GenAI. And I have Ujjawal with me.
Hello everyone, I'm Ujjawal. I'm currently working with Publicis Sapient as lead experience engineer. And lately I've been developing with generative AI. So we have creating a lot of platforms, and one we are going to talk about today.
Yeah. So before we come to the topic, can I have a show of hands so that everyone is aware, everyone is awake? I know we are sitting between you and, yeah, thank you everyone. So let's see, how many of you are using GenAI for your development work? Any type of GenAI? Can I have a show of hands? Oh wow, a lot of people. Awesome. So how many of you are using ChatGPT? Show of hand. Okay. How many of you are using Copilot? Okay, awesome. How many of you are using Cursor? Okay, nice. All right. So we also looked at the Stack Overflow developer survey, and we saw 76% people who responded to that survey either are using GenAI or going to use GenAI in this year for their development process. The interesting thing, as we saw in this forum, a lot of people are using ChatGPT and GitHub Copilot, right? And there are a lot of things that they are doing. For example, they are doing code refactoring, they are writing new code with it, they are writing test cases, debugging, asking Q&A, and creating images. But one of the best things, a lot of people who are working in smaller organizations, I have interacted in past, they were like, they don't get mentoring support. So people are using GenAI to even get mentoring support. Isn't that such a great time, right? But
Gautam, what about dev workflows, right? So next.
Yeah.
So like tasks, Figma to code conversion, right? Review merge request. That is like where we are spending a lot of time. So can we automate those tasks, giving KT to team, right? Creating Jira tasks. Let's all accept like how boring is to create a Jira ticket, right? And then writing a blog post. We all plan that we will write a blog post, but we never do, right? So can we use like generative AI to do all these things?
Yeah, especially when we look at things like giving a KT to team. How can we do it with GenAI? Because biggest thing, the problem that GenAI has, it doesn't have your project context. It can't go and create stories for you. How do we solve this problem? And that's where we have another tool that comes in, that's AutoGPT. AutoGPT lets you orchestrate tasks between LLMs and agents. Agents are processes that can interact with environment. For example, you can interact with Jira, you can interact with a web crawler that can get content from different sites. You can interact with API from Jira, and publish information over there. You can build a RAG application using it that has context about your application, not just the technical context, but also the business context, right? And one of the challenge with this is, let's look at how we'll go and build a market report with AutoGPT. And AutoGPT has been a CLI application. So this is a flow that will explain you. So we are trying to get a market analysis report for electrical vehicles. So what AutoGPT is going to do, it's going to identify from LLM what it needs to do. It needs to look at the research of different electric vehicle trends. Then it needs to collate the market data, create a report. And it creates a plan for it. This plan will include finding the reputable sources, extracting the key statistic data, building a report, and sharing it with the user.
But Gautam, as far I know, all this is CLI, right? And there is no way to customize the steps.
Yeah, we'll come to that because we have a very interesting thing that is coming up. But it is going to go and execute these steps. It's going to create a list of all the sites from the AI, from LLM. It's going to get the list of sites. And then it's going to use a crawler to get those websites and read the content from it. Once the content is there, it is going to go and analyze the trends between those content. From those trends, it's going to create a summary along with chart, graphs, whatever it needs for that. And then it's going to present it to the user. All of this is happening in the UI. And as Ujjwal pointed out, yes, it's in CLI. And we have a React Flow library that helps us build the custom workflow. So how many of you have heard about React Flow? Very few people, right? So React Flow is a great library that has recently come in that helps you build workflow. I'll quickly give you a 2-minute summary about it. It has something what's called nodes. A node is kind of a process, a single unit of process that you want to do, right? It has an input and an output. Output of one block can be connected to input of another. For example, over here, we have a node called node 1. It has a text called hello. There is another transformer node, input of which is connected to the node 1, and it transforms the text that is coming to uppercase, and then it gives to the final node where it is merging the text. So there is another node which gives world, so it combines it to hello world. This is a very simplistic view of how React Flow is working with it. But how all of this comes and combines with with AutoGPT, let's have a look at the demo. So you will need to close that. Sorry, we have a regular demo issue. So we'll quickly switch. Yeah. So this is an application. Yeah, Ujjwal, I'll let Ujjwal explain this.
So how many of you are front-end developers? Yeah. So as part of this demo, we are going to showcase a tool that we have created that's going to take your Figma screenshot and give you HTML code that you will ask, right? So here, like on the left side, we have drag and drop image where you can select and pick your screenshot.
So from here, we are going to select a screenshot. And this is a tool that will help us convert the screenshot into the code. So this you can see on the screen, this is the screenshot, and it's an image. We are going to convert it to a code using GenAI.
So what do you think, how much time it will take you to build this page, right?
Generally, it would take 2 or 3 days.
Right. Now we are going to build in just under 1 minute.
Yeah.
So here, you can select the models that you need to use. So we have like Claude and GPT-4o. For this demo, I'm going to use Claude. And here you can choose your stack, like whether you want to HTML, CSS, Tailwind, or React plus Tailwind. So I'm going to choose HTML plus Tailwind. And going to click on Generate.
So this tool gives us capability from a single window to go and switch between different LLM models. So you don't have to go and explore different LLM models, give them prompt, and compare their output. You can do it from a single window. And then it is going to process and get the output streamed onto this canvas. Once the output comes, we are going to see how that output appears, and probably if we don't like it, we are going to choose a different model. But here's the output, right? All right.
And you can see the mobile view of this, and you can see the code that it has generated. Pretty awesome, right?
So the code preview is available, but let's look at if the drop-downs are working, Ujjwal.
Yeah. So here you can see this is only one option. Can we ask it to add more options? Let's do that. So I'm going in selection mode. Just a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here I'm going to ask it to add some more options.
So generally, when we have to go and modify a certain section of the output, it's very difficult to tell an AutoGPT agent or a LLM model what part you want to modify and update it. So over here, we have made it pretty simple.
So once we write what needs to be updated, we can click on update. So now it will again start generating your code.
Yeah. So it is going to create an output with all the drop downs. And if you want any other modifications, you can provide description for that. And it's going to give you the updated output with all those updates. So now it is, again, interacting with LLM, getting the response streamed, and trying to build a preview. So while this updates, the problem with GenAI today is whenever you are creating such outputs, at times LLM models are not able to go and give you the right output on the first time. And you have to go prompt it again, modify the sections. And honestly, I have had many troubles with explaining to GenAI models that, go and modify this particular section. And from there, we came out with a thought that this feature needs to be there where we can go and modify a certain section. And here we have the updated request, and it is telling that this is the update that it has, and it wants to confirm whether we should merge it with the code. And once we confirm, it will get merged to the original code.
So basically what we ask, it asking for our input, does it look good? So once you gave, okay, now it's look good, now you can merge with existing code. So that is what it is going to do.
So we are getting some technical issues and solving it in the prod live. All of us has done that. All right. So while we get the output updated, okay, I think there was some issue over here as well. That's okay. We can go to the other. Oh, it is updating?
Yeah.
Okay. So it is updating the output. And I think while it generates, we can get to the next part while we let LLM generate the output. Okay. So this is not the only thing that we are going to do today. So let's see how we build this application. So how many of you, can I have an answer from all of you? If you have to build such an application, how much time will it take? How many of you say it will take us month? Month? 2 weeks? A week? 2 days? Okay, let's try to do it on the stage.
So first thing you saw, we need something like a file picker to select the screenshot from our system. So let's select a file picker. So this is the file picker. And here you can see we have a input and we have output. Now we can connect the output of one block to the input of another. So next, once we choose the file, we need some prompt, right? And where we need to provide a system prompt to see, okay, you need to generate, but that prompt, let's accept that we are not everyone is good with creating prompt, right? So for that, we have created a prompt library where you can go ahead and select created prompt for your use case. So let's select prompt factory.
So we are going to select a prompt factory where all the pre-added prompts are present.
So in this prompt factory, you need to select your topic. So we have code generation, project management, and documentation. So I'm going to select code generation. And here, similar to that previous demo, we can select stack. So again, I'm going to select HTML plus Tailwind. And then file content. So file content is going to come from our file picker. This is how we can connect.
So this is React Flow, how we are able to connect a file manager output to the input of prompt factory.
Right. Now our prompt is ready. Now we need to give it to LLM to give us our response based on the prompt we have provided. So for that,
so over here we have a AI conversation block that gives you ability to select different LLMs. And over here, we will connect the output of prompt factory to the input of AI conversation so that we are able to run that prompt to an LLM. And eventually, we want to see the output, what LLM is going to generate. So we are going to add the HTML render block.
Right. And here we can select the model similar to what you noticed in the previous demo. So we are again going to select a Claude. And you need to provide API key, but we have already added that, so there is no need to. Now, this will give us response in HTML code. We need something to render that HTML, right? So for that, we have another block.
So over here, we have render HTML block. This block is going to get the output from the AI conversation and is going to show in the HTML. And this completes our flow. We can drag and drop a image file onto the file picker, and it can generate us the same output. And what you were seeing earlier was a run version of this tool.
So this is the entire flow. This is all it takes to create a screenshot to code feature. And if you have no experience with generative AI, right, you must be like thinking it must be super complex to create that, but it is not. What we are doing, we are creating some intelligent prompt, passing the file, and then passing it to AI conversation. So this type of system adds the visualization power, and it is super good for learning purpose, right? So as you can see, this is all it takes to create the whole screenshot to code feature.
But now, you know, Ujjawal, this is not the only problem. The problem also comes when you have to go create the stories, right? You have to identify what are your acceptance criteria, tell to the developer that, you know, this interaction needs to be there. How do we solve for that?
So we can repurpose, reconfigure these blocks to target that use case. So let's do that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove this render HTML.
So just from here, we are going to add another node, and we are going to modify this tool from screenshot to code. We are going to make it screenshot to Jira story. So over here, we have added an agent output that's going to take the output of the AI conversation, and then we are going to modify the prompt. We have seen in our organization a lot of junior developers when they start, or even a lot of people when they are starting with GenAI, they have the trouble creating their own good prompts. They try the GenAI and they get bad output and they say, it's not working well. Maybe it's not for me. And we thought, why not we are able to give them a library of prompts. But what is the best way of sharing that prompt library? Can it be embedded within an application? Yes, that's what we did. We embedded the entire prompt library in this application so user can go, select a prompt, and then make it work.
So now I'm going to run this. So this is, we just removed one block and selected our system prompts related to the Jira ticket. And now the whole app is reconfigured from screenshot to code to screenshot to Jira ticket.
I think we'll also need the data dictionary.
Sorry?
We might also need the dictionary.
Yes. No, I'm just going to show. I'm not going to publish on Jira, but I'm just going to show the output.
Okay. So now we can see the process is running. Oh, it's not running right now. Can you give it a refresh?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's select the file again.
Yeah.
And now you can see the process is queued. And now it's running. The file is picked, is sent to the prompt factory. Prompt factory is now running. And it has now got the prompt and sending it to AI conversation, which is now talking to an LLM to get a response. And LLM has given the response, and that's the response for your story. And so now we have got a JSON response for the story. So you have the title, and you have the content for the entire story that you need to write for that particular screenshot to be built.
So it has all the description, like what acceptance criteria, everything it has, that needs to be created for Jira ticket. So
yeah, we have got all the acceptance criteria and everything, right? And we still have 10 minutes to our talk. What do we do now? I know all of us, we've always wanted to write a blog that we thought we'll publish one day, right? How many of you wanted to publish a blog but couldn't? Okay, we have some people, right? So let's try to publish a blog from this stage today. Let's write a blog on React 19.
So this is similar, like we have already created this feature. So you can see we have searched the web. So the first, you need to provide your query. So our title is React 19, right? Now it will search the web and get the result. Now next is AI structure response generator. So here, like, if you have like developed using generative AI, you need to tell it like how your response is going to be. So it needs to be in just a particular JSON format. What key is going to be there? So this block is for that purpose. You can tell what key needs to be there and what value needs to be there. Now, similar to programming, we have find in dictionary. So from that response, we need to select our title and our content. And next, we have this publish to medium where we are providing title, content, and we have already all like API keys and everything. So I'm going to run this. Let me rephrase it one more time. Yeah. So I'm going to run this.
Now, the AutoGPT is now searching the web for the sources it needs to identify to get the information about React 19. Once it gets the information, it will scrape the information out on React 19 and pass it to the prompt generator, where the prompt generator will create a prompt that it needs to write a blog, and it needs a title and the content for that blog post. And that gets passed to our LLM. And the LLM, in that case, is going to, again, look at that information, analyze it, write a blog post, and send it to the last blog, which is published to Medium. And by the time I was explaining this, we have published a blog to Medium. And here is the blog that we have just created, with 4 examples. But the problem doesn't end over here, right? How many, now if you give this tool to your team, a lot of people will struggle that, how will I build this workflow? Maybe there is a person who comes up with a great workflow. How will that person share it with other people in the community, right? It becomes more and more important to share things. We are here just to share our knowledge. Same thing we have to do with the tool. How do we do it? So we have a feature of marketplace, where people can go, create agent, and publish to them, right?
So you can see we have already published idea to blog, and you can use it. So you can download the agent, and it will add add it in your template. So here I can see it is already there, idea to blog, and you can preview to see what blogs are there and how they are configured, or you can reconfigure them as well.
So if you want to customize this, that is also possible. Go, customize, play, and share it with your team. Yesterday, we did a talk on AI-assisted agile. Today, we want to tell how we are taking it to the next step, how we are trying to incorporate AI into our daily workflows. How we are taking all the mundane tasks that a developer does and making them from an individual contributor to a manager who is managing an AI. Right? Thank you for your time.